Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges, the daily show that helps you leverage conflict to master your leadership skills and live your best life. Hey, I hope everyone is doing great today, as we have another awesome show with my wife, Jen. Today, we're going to focus on another area of these automatic negative thoughts and talk about how they can impact your entire team and what key words to look for that may signal negative thoughts within your team members, or for that matter, even maybe your family members. So let's drop back into the conversation. We've been talking about individual ants here, and does this have a tendency to multiply when you put two people together or a team of people together? Can those ants even be 2 or 3 or 10 times greater if you put a team that are thinking the same way together?
Ants are a very personal thing. It's something that is ingrained within you that has happened over time. That said, if you are in a group, if you have a team of individuals who constantly feels like the boss never listens to them or they can never get ahead as a team, they can start to create that as a group and allow that to be an automatic negative thought for them as a unit. Again, it's something that each one of them has control over. So as soon as one can start refuting it and they start sharing that with each other and they become that encouragement, it can change over time.
Tying this to leadership, it's one thing to recognize our own ants, our own automatic negative thoughts. But as leaders, can we recognize automatic negative thoughts in our people or other team members?
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
what are some triggers or what are some indicators that we should be looking for?
When you hear the words never and always, those are pretty big indicators of ants. If someone says, she's never going to talk to me because she only works with larger advertising firms, or they're never going to talk to us because such and such irritated them 20 years ago. You're using that word never, which means that it is ingrained in you that the possibility is no longer there. When you remove automatic negative thoughts, the impossible becomes possible.
So what are some things, a lot of times when we bring this up, like if we hear somebody saying never or always, it can kind of trigger that thought in our mind as leaders that, hey, they're experiencing an ant. What are some ways that we can talk to them, or do you have any tips on how we can approach them to kind of turn that more positive?
A great question to ask is if they say, I always strike out when I go to that office. Ask them, okay, you always strike out then, but can you please tell me other times when you don't strike out? And have them tell you of these different encounters that they may have had, a different office or a different advertising company or whatever it might be. As they tell you that, then you can follow that up with, okay, so what's different there? What made that possible and this impossible? And have them work through that. And a lot of times you're going to be able to help them see that what looks impossible, if they use some of the same techniques, or maybe if they change those techniques, when they can think beyond it being impossible, then they will see where their potential is of completing something or doing something or achieving something.
Man, I don't know how you feel about that, but I think that was some pure gold. Did you catch the 2 words that are indicators or triggers to the automatic negative thoughts? Never and always. And did you take note of the questioning techniques that Jen mentioned to turn those negative thoughts more positive? She basically said to question them in the form of saying, okay, you always did it that way in the past, but then what are some areas that you did well in the past? And what is different about those times? And man, I just love that question that she asked. So what made that possible? Because if you think about it, if we can get to training our brain that things are possible, man, we could do just about anything, especially as a team. So today's challenge is to start to listen for words like never and always within your team, and catch yourself if you say it, and just pause and think about it. Think about where the never and always is coming from. Ask yourself and your team members what made similar situations possible, and get back on track. Get rid of those negative thoughts that are holding you back. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this entire week, but remember, the week's not over just yet. Be sure to join us tomorrow for the weekend edition, and I'll try to get Jen to come back again real soon. Let me know how you liked this week and Jen and I's conversation. As always, you can contact me directly by emailing me at paul@clcteam.com. And you can contact Jen via email at jeng, that's Jeng, @jengrau.com. Hey, have a great rest of your day, and until tomorrow, run to your challenges.